Hey guys, what's up? I'm Just a Gaming here, and Halo Reach is officially 7 years old today. Reach is one of the most important games of the entire Halo franchise, and it was really Bungie's last chance to add to the Halo universe, and they went all out and made a lot of changes. While not all of them great, Reach is generally viewed as a pretty solid Halo game. Personally, for me, it's up there as one of my favorites in the series. It was the first Halo game where I personally really got invested into the multiplayer and the story, so to celebrate Halo Reach's 7th anniversary, today I wanted to rank the 10 campaign missions. Again, these are my personal picks, so feel free to leave your own list in the comments down below. So starting off with number 10 is actually going to be the first mission of the game, which is Winter Contingency. So Winter Contingency is actually a pretty good introduction to Halo Reach as a whole. It gives you a good introduction to the new mechanics. I thought it was cool that they had the MOAs and the Jackals there. It was a good introduction to the Jackals, that was cool. Having just MOAs that you could shoot and that were just fun to have around, that was cool. Overall though, the mission's kind of bland and not too much stands out besides the overall location and the setting. Of course, that's a firefight map like a lot of the parts of the Reach campaign, but it was still really cool. And like I said, kind of bland, but not too much. It was a cool introduction for the Noble team members and how they stand apart, with Noble Actual, the cutscene coming before that, what was pretty cool. And it introduced a first-person cutscene moment that I actually really liked, with that Halo Reach music that also plays in Long Night of Solace, which I'll get to later. But it played that same music, and I thought that moment really stood out and was cool. But all the encounters are kind of generic, which makes sense. It's just kind of a good introduction, and it kind of resorts to a defend this part when you get to the base at the end. Anyways, I don't hate this mission. I don't love replaying it, but it's a pretty good introduction, but that is why it's going to be at number 10 on my list. Number 9 is going to be the package, which I believe is the second to last mission. Overall, the atmosphere in this mission is really noticeable, with the skybox and the music really standing out. There's a fun scorpion part at the beginning, which I thought was really cool, and it is kind of cool that you get to go back to Sword Base again, this time clearing it out again, but the lighting's kind of different and the music, and just the whole atmosphere as a whole is really different. A part I really don't like about this mission though is at the glacier at the end when you have to buy time for Halsey, and for me, although it is cool you get to try out some fun new weapons, it came across as kind of lazy for me, and personally, I felt like it really overstayed its welcome. I did think it was cool that you were able to set up turrets, but that didn't really save that part for me. For me, it just really overstayed its welcome, and that's kind of what drags that mission down for me. If they had maybe done something different at the end instead of that, I maybe would have understood it, but for me, that's just not one of my favorite missions. But as a whole, before you get to that part, I do really like it, and like I said, the atmosphere on that mission really stands apart. At number 8, I'm going to have Exodus, which my favorite part about this mission by far is probably the setting, being able to go around to New Alexandria, and this was the first time we'd really seen a city in the Halo universe with people besides Halo 3 ODST, but that city was all desolate and it was at nighttime, so you never really got the full, I guess, extent of it. But I thought the idea of escorting civilians to safety was also kind of cool, and it was fun flying around with the jetpacks, and killing brutes was also great. Because the brutes I also thought were really fun to find in Halo Reach, and even though like a whole level of mainly brutes I didn't love as a whole, I just thought it was pretty fun. And there were also some genuinely great moments like flying around in the Falcon, and then the amazing music kicks in and you watch that life draft with all the civilians just get shot down, and really as a whole just kind of keeps going with the idea that Reach as a whole is super depressing and just not a great time. But I did think it was cool, it did that well, and Exodus also really stands out in my mind, but it's just a really fun mission overall with a lot of cool encounters. At number 7, I'm going to have Long Night of Solace, which I love the way this mission starts with you storming the beach kind of like the Silent Cartographer all the way back in Halo CE, and the main thing that stands out with this mission is the space fight with the sabers, and while it did get a little old after a while, I love that they at least tried to do something new with it, and I thought it was really cool and unique. The first time I played this all the way back in 2010, I was actually just really blown away and really surprised when I first played this, so I thought it was really cool, and it's really stuck out to me even till now. I also thought it was really cool that you were fighting enemies in zero gravity with no sound, and it overall was just a really cool experience. However, once you get off the saber, it does get kind of bland as you just go from room to room and then have to defend a pelican at the end. It's still a really fun mission though that definitely stands out, and the ending cutscene with George I also think is really good. I don't want to mention this for every single one, but I love pretty much every cutscene in this game and thought they're all done extremely well. Some of them when we get further down the list I'll mention specifically, but I do want to say all the cutscenes in this game I think are great, and just because I don't mention them doesn't mean I don't care. I just didn't want to mention them because I love them for almost every single mission, so that's why. But at number 6, I'm going to have Nightfall, which is another mission that stands out, obviously inspired by Truth and Reconciliation. I thought it was cool you had the night vision, and it's pretty much just simply Truth and Reconciliation, but now you're in Reach, you have a night vision, and I just think it's really cool with June just kind of sneaking around, doing stealth stuff. Even though there wasn't too much of that in there, I still thought it was cool. I remember seeing the giant monsters for the first time, all the way back in 2010, and thinking it was really cool and just something also unique that they didn't really have to do, but they decided to put it in anyways, just to make the mission stand out more. All the encounters I thought were also really fun, except for the very end where you have to defend a point again. I don't love that sort of thing, as you may be able to tell in the Halo campaigns, but either way, it's a pretty fun mission that I definitely enjoyed playing through. At number 5, I'm going to have Oni Sword Base. This is a mission that really stands out in my mind just because of the location in Sword Base, as it's such an iconic Reach map. You have a nice variety of armor abilities to mess with in this mission, and of course you get the target designator, which is awesome and such a cool idea. Warthog combat is fun, going to the different AA guns and having a lot of freedom in the way you approach them, and fighting your way through Sword Base as a whole is just really fun. So that's a mission that I definitely really like and also stands out in the Reach campaign. And number 4 is going to be Pillar of Autumn. This is the last full mission of the game, not really counting Lone Wolf, but this is the last full mission, and it starts with a really fun mongoose run where you get to drive past the scarabs. Initially I was kind of disappointed that you didn't get to fight them, like right when you saw them like you did in the Storm in Halo 3, but I got past it, and I just have some really great memories with this mission. It provides a fun, really difficult level on Legendary with a nice mix of fighting vehicles and using power weapons and that kind of thing. All of clearing out the enemies so the Pelican can land is surprisingly fun. I thought that would get dull kind of fast, but I never really ceased to have fun while doing that. And you kind of feel like you have a purpose fighting your way up to the cannon, knowing the events of Halo CE. And taking control of the cannon was very fun and cool, knowing you're paving the way for Halo CE, seeing the Pillar of Autumn take off at the end, talking to Keys, and just that kind of stuff. I love prequels, even the ones that are done really badly, I still love. I love interconnected universe, that kind of aspect, and so seeing this and playing this for the first time, knowing where this has gone with Halo CE, I thought was really cool. But overall, it's a great mission, and it has a lot in it. And at number 3 we have Lone Wolf, which is an awesome mission with an amazing cutscene that starts out with great music throughout. It sets the really somber tone and has an awesome skybox of Reach getting glassed in the distance, which is something that we see a lot through the Reach campaign, but here it really stands out knowing this is the end of the game. This is probably where Noble 6 is gonna die. You're not really sure if that's what's gonna happen. It's called Lone Wolf, you probably know it. But it's not really anything else like in the franchise. You pretty much just survive as long as you can. There's no purpose. I believe even the mission objective is Spartans never die. And I just think that's really cool. You just survive for as long as you can, and that's all there really is to it. The cracks on the visor when you start getting damaged are a nice touch, and when you do finally fall, it's just sad and depressing, but still amazingly done at the same time. It's just such a cool cutscene at the end also, that it's a great hopeful ending to the game, and I remember playing this for the first time and just being at a loss for words right when the game ended, and I just thought it was a fantastic ending to Halo Reach, and a mission that I know for a lot of people definitely stands out in the Reach campaign. At number 2, the runner-up, this might come as a surprise to some people, but I'm going to put Tip of the Spear. This is a really fun mission that starts you off immediately with a grenade launcher, and is very similar to the Covenant from Halo 3 in the way it starts. I just thought that was really cool. The Rocket Hog is really fun to drive around, and just driving from each gun to the next is also surprisingly well done. It paces the on-foot combat pretty well with the vehicle stuff. There is a nice variety of vehicle stuff, but a lot of vehicle combat really made this mission a blast to play through. Then right when I personally thought the mission was over, your Falcon crashes near the spire, and then you realize you're going to have to go up there and just kind of disable the shield and fight your way up there. But being able to fight your way to the spire is also really fun and satisfying when you finally make it up there. And obviously the spire is such an iconic Reach map, people jumping off and assassinating other people in multiplayer. I just thought that was really cool being able to play that in the campaign. The ending cutscene is also fantastic, and one of my most memorable ones from Reach, because it starts you out feeling really hopeful with the music, and up to this point the Reach campaign had been pretty hopeful for the most part. Noble 6 makes the jump, you're like, alright, we're all gonna live, everything's gonna be great. Then out of nowhere, the frigate that's headed towards the spire that you had just disabled is destroyed, the music immediately changes, and the camera pans up to see the enormous Covenant supercarrier, and you realize that everything's just gonna go bad. Even though you know how Reach goes, it was really hopeful up to that point, and then right when that ship gets destroyed, the music changes, the tone of the game changes, everything changes, and it's just such an iconic moment. And this is the moment, like I said, where it basically changed from all hopeful to somber and sad, and I thought it was fantastically done. And my number 1 mission may be my favorite mission in Hall of Halo, and that's going to be New Alexandria. The Covenant is really close for me as my top mission. They're obviously really similar, but I'm not sure. First, the opening cutscene, just like all of them, like I mentioned, is great. I love the music, and what definitely stands out about this mission is just the atmosphere in general and the complete freedom you have to do whatever you want. You can go to whatever tower you want, whenever you want. There are cool Easter eggs, like obviously the dance club with the DJ Brute. That's really cool, and pretty much just do anything, and that's what I want most from a Halo mission, is just the complete freedom to do whatever you want. Use the cool assets that are in Halo, the cool gameplay mechanics, and just go nuts with them, do whatever you want. That's one of my most favorite things about this mission, and it's just really well done. The parts inside the towers were also really fun and not a pain to get through, because when I initially played it, my first thought was I just want to get back in the Falcon, shoot Banshees, that kind of thing, but they're not even a pain to get through, which is what I originally thought would happen. Even in the Falcon, you have Banshees, so there's always something to fight, so you don't really get bored. Always just constantly seeing in the distance the city getting glassed is really cool and impactful when playing. It kind of gives you a motivation to get it done, feel like you're doing something, and just kind of the story aspects integrated into the missions and gameplay I thought was really well done and something that really stood out to me. There were just so many cool things that they didn't really have to do, like adding in an elevator that wasn't really scripted, so you could mess with it as much as you want. You could glitch your way in there. Really reminds me of Halo CE a lot in this way with the missions. And the ending cutscene is also great and pretty well known, since this is obviously where Kat dies. Well, I thought the way she died was kind of stupid. She just kind of gets shot from a phantom that appeared, and that's about it. But then, like I said, the cutscene as a whole is really well done, and that last shot I can't even describe because it's so great. You're seeing it right now, and I'm sure you've seen it before if you've even played Reach. It's just fantastic, and I just love that mission so much, and I just don't really have words for it that haven't been said in the last 7 years. It's just really well done, and something I never have a problem going back to play, even today. So yeah guys, this was my list, and like I said at the beginning, Halo Reach is one of my favorite games of all time. I love the campaign, I love the art style, cutscenes, soundtrack, and I even love the multiplayer. While I don't think it's the perfect Halo game, I do think the campaign is fantastic, and I loved playing through every mission. I think it was a great way for Bungie to end their series that pretty much made them iconic and what they're known for today. I just think it's really well done. So yeah, if you still haven't played Reach after 7 years somehow, it was even on Games with Gold a while ago, go play it, go buy it at GameStop or wherever, even buy it digitally, because you won't regret it. So don't forget to tell me your favorite Reach mission in the comments below. Do you agree with me? Is New Alexandria your favorite mission, or do you have a different mission? Do you think Tip of the Spear is better? Do you think Lone Wolf just with the whole atmosphere is better? Or do you like the space battle and Long Night of Solace the most? So don't forget to tell me your favorite Reach mission in the comments down below, and thanks for watching Majestic Gaming.